You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Amnesia Rebirth on the GTX 1050 Ti, 750 Ti, 1650 Super, RX 570 and maybe the RX 580. We'll see how times are handled today. How are you guys doing? Good seeing ya. Hey, I was 30 seconds late, you cannot complain really, mystery boy. That's funny though. Hello, how are you doing, man? Good to see ya. Anyways, so apparently the game is locked at 60 frames, and looking at it here. So yeah, I cannot choose. I love that you can cap the game to 15 FPS. Why would you do that? Anyways. So yeah, apparently, yeah, still late. Alright. You're right. Todo bien, ¿y ustedes cómo andan? Alright, so I'll start with 1080p. There's a dynamic resolution now. We're going to test that later. I don't know the performance yet. I haven't even played the game. So yeah, this is the options menu. Yeah, I want to apply the changes. And in the graphics, we got all these options. This is basically the maximum settings with film grain disabled because I don't like how it looks. It usually happens that way. So yeah. Cheers from Serbia. Well, cheers from Uruguay. Nice seeing you here, guys. Also people from India, Argentina, everywhere. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's start the game right away. This is weird because the game is on OpenGL, so it's probably using the same engine as before, which is interesting. I was expecting a different one this time around. But hey, if they can make this work, I'm all for it. Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing Amnesia Rebirth on the 1050 Ti first, then more GPUs. Yeah, 3100 plus 1050 Ti. I'm using a Ryzen 3 3100 if you were wondering. It should be more than enough for this game. I mean, there's not a lot going on. It should be more GPU bound, as far as I know. Alright, there's a moment that you realize a lot. Well, you guys know how to read. So I'll probably put this here so you can read the subtitles. If you care at all. Love from Uruguay. Hello Carl, how's it going, Carl? Unfortunately, I cannot skip cutscenes. I mean, it makes sense. This game is more focused on the story part more than the gameplay. On the scares plus the story should be the experience in this game. So yeah, it's super weird to see an OpenGL game, but hey, if it runs well, we don't care about the API. Yeah, low GPU usage, yeah, but remember this game is capped at 60 frames and this is a cinematic. There's nothing going on in the background, apparently. So yeah. Who do you think will win the El Clásico? Ni idea porque no soy futbolero, ni idea de fútbol. Thank you, TurboZ D3B1L5754. Arre, decidies. Namaste. Oh, alright. She's a good draw. Is this Bioshock? This reminds me so much of Bioshock. Interesting choice.
It's just turbulence. It'll settle down soon.
Yes, I know. It's hard though. Your head tells you one thing, but your heart disagrees.
Try to sleep.
I couldn't. I keep imagining.
Yeah, this is Bioshock, or The Forest. Started in a plane. Remember the game is locked at 60 frames, so I cannot really do much about it. I might enable VSync because it's looking super screen teary at the moment. But yeah, so far doing well. Yeah, this is the new Amnesia Rebirth. This is made by Frictional games themselves. He looks like you? Not really. But yeah, this reminds me so much of the intro of Bioshock. Oh yeah, classic. Engine down. You don't want that to happen to a plane. I speak from experience. Did you like the first Amnesia? I'm not into horror games, so this is really a challenge for me. I get scared super easily. I played the first Amnesia with a friend, some parts, but I wasn't brave enough to get into it. Yeah, this is a horror game, so
Don't forget.
yeah. I mean, I'm a little afraid. I'll get a little too scared, but hey,
You must understand.
we'll see. Tiene gráfico de Play 3, sí, más o menos. Veremos cuando lleguemos a las partes más abiertas, pero sí, usa el mismo motor de antes. Who is the publisher of this game? The publisher of this game is Frictional Games, and as far as I know, it's also the developer. So yeah, I mean Frictional Games. Alright, so apparently we're about to be in control. But yes, as I remember, if I remember correctly, they're using the same engine as the previous games, but with some graphical upgrades. So yeah, let's hold down W. It's already dropping into the 40s. We are going to see the options menu later down the line. But yeah. Right now, I'm trying to get into the I'm free to move whatever I want moment. ¿Pensaste hacer directos en Twitch jugando? No, la verdad que no, porque no me interesa hacer eso. No tengo mucho tiempo tampoco. Beyond the Wire. No lo conozco ese, pero gracias por avisar. Will you do Cyberpunk gameplay on 1063 gigs when it releases? Unfortunately, I no longer have the 1063 gigs, but it should be similar to the 570 in most games, so you can use that as a reference. But if it's an more of an Nvidia specific game, well, we'll find out once it releases, but I'll be doing a live stream. Always looking down. Alright, let's get this. Okay.
My handwriting.
Oh yeah, Amnesia, of course. She doesn't know where she is or how she got here. Okay, I can move objects.
That's the doctor. I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here.
I heard the main character speaks non-stop in this game. Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Hello. Hello. This is Tassie.
Maybe it has to do with the story. Who knows? Oh, I can turn things while moving the mouse. Okay, so this is like the first Amnesia in that regard. You need to move your mouse trying to do the motion like in the game. So if I want to move this, I have to move forwards and backwards with the mouse. Give me that. El plan de vuelo, the flight plan. I can take it? No. Okay, this is okay, the handle. Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. We're finally outside, and for some reason we have a fashionable watch. Okay, so this looks way better than the intro of the game, now that we're into the game itself. I mean, it's not the best looking game in the world, but this looks better than the intro. The intro was a little rough.
I remember.
Oh,
People were.
this is a little heavy.
In the crash, I was here.
Let's grab all this stuff.
Where did they
Garbage.
go? Salim.
But yeah, so far in here we seem to be at 60, no problem. or seem to be locked. Yeah, animations are not that great either. But I mean, yeah, it seems to be locked at 60, at least in this part. Let's enable VSync, since we are already locked at 60, so why see screen tearing if we can do... Yeah, let's put adaptive VSync. Okay, much better. Now there's no screen tear. Great.
Cry out here.
Oh, staying direct sunlight is a bad idea. Keep to the shade. Good phrase. Keep to the shade, bro.
Wait, Hank.
No choice. We need to get them to shelter.
But yeah, it seems that when she sees the flashbacks, it goes into the 40s.
Let's get him
But I mean, the gameplay itself, we were into the 60s most of the time.
Don't worry.
We'll see once we keep advancing, but yeah. This... Yeah, stays at 60 once I'm playing again. I mean, this is not a game where 60 frames, at least in my opinion, are needed. Oh, you can put it closer or further. Gotcha. As I was saying, this is not a game where I will target 60 frames no matter what. You're not really going to fight. This game is mostly hiding and peeking. Yeah, the animations are not that great on the character, as you were saying. But yeah, this is... I mean, due to the nature of this game, I wouldn't really prioritize 60 frames. I better have the slightly better graphics. Let's go to the shade.
Salim! Salim,
Come on, Salim. I'm your wife, Salim. Come on, stop playing. Sí, igual este va a tener algunas partes que son más cerradas, que debería ser más similar al primero, pero sí, puede ser. What do you think about the first Amnesia game? It's terrifying. That's what I know about it. It's a terrifying experience, in a good way. If you like horror games, you'll love Amnesia 1, probably more than this one. People that played the first one said that this one is very different, less scary, so perfect for me, that I'm not into scary stuff. So yeah, this is kind of a challenge to me. Yeah, the VSync in this game doesn't seem to be working correctly. We're going to turn it off. I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing its job on the VSync. Make sure to enable it on the AverMedia control panel. This game is locked at 60 anyways, so you're not going to want no VSync, considering all the screen tearing in the middle of the screen. It will look pretty terrible. Yeah, maybe keep it on adaptive from the menu itself. It's driving me nuts. Yeah, keep it on adaptive. So it stays at 60. Much better. Yeah, sometimes it looks great and some other times not that much. It's a pretty mixed bag so far in the, first 10 minutes. It's been a mixed bag. Okay, more flashbacks. If a game is already locked at 60, what's the point of VSync? Well, VSync is not only locking the game to 60 frames, it makes you not get any screen tearing. So if you don't like screen tearing at all, which why would you like it? To see partial frames on the screen, you probably want to keep it enabled. You may want to look up the Digital Foundry video talking about the VSync. That explains it in pretty great detail, how the technology works and why we use it. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, talking about mixed bags, the textures on this are not super high res, which is okay, I don't mind, but it's kind of a mixed bag. Okay, I have the journal. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the first game, which is good. I love that I can grab basically anything and throw it around. Super pointless, but hey. Let's get in. I really don't like when people spam the same text they say it. Yeah, the same text? What do you mean? Oh, I understand. Yeah, in the chat you say. I thought you were talking about the game. I get it now. Yeah, it's super annoying. But I cannot do much about it, really. Greetings from Russia, greetings from Uruguay, sir. Now we are indoors, and
Come on.
we seem to be okay.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Yeah, I mean, this part looks very good. Much better than the plane. And now we're dropping into the 50s. But again, as I said, I really do not think you need to lock it to 60 in this one in particular, because you're not doing any fighting, any fine aiming. You don't need really any reflexes at all, just hiding from monsters and reading stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, let's see if we can fix this, just to see what the options in the menu do. Drops into the 50s are not bad in my opinion, but let's see if I lower the shadows to high, what happens. We apply the changes and okay, 1 FPS more. So let's see if there's any volumetrics. Let's try 1 by 1. It's not the terrain. Got it. SSAO is probably going to be a big difference. Yep. Okay, SSAO gave us like 5 FPS more. Okay, that's one of the important options if you wanted to tweak the game for any reason. Refraction and skin shading. Let's try those. Okay, a couple frames, nothing important. Reflections should make a difference. Okay, a couple extra frames. And lantern shadows, well, yeah, that should make a difference. But if it's shadows on low, it's probably going to be the biggest boost. No, it's not. Okay, we get like 3 FPS more. So my advice so far is that if you want better performance here, disable SSAO, and in the more, what's the name of this? In the parts when you're using the lantern, disable the lantern shadows and reflections in parts where reflections show up. But there's not much else to it, really, which is a little disappointing. This many options for such a little difference in performance. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, just in this case, just max it out, play at over 30 frames. You're not really shooting a weapon or doing any fine aiming. But yeah, anyways, let's try 1440p now. Now that we are here, we're going to go up to 1440. And let's call this 1080p 1440p ultra settings. And we're going to swap GPUs later. Okay, much sharper now. But we're still over 30 frames. Let's see if it holds up. But yeah, looks very good at 1440p. Considering, I mean, oh man, it looked a little blurry. It looked a little shimmery on 1080p. That's because we only got FXAA as anti-aliasing, no TAA, like most modern games. Some matches, beautiful, love that. So as I was saying, this game only has FXAA as anti-aliasing option, which is fine. It's fine, but with many games using TAA, I'm not used to having rough edges. So when you increase the resolution in this particular case, you're going to see a massive boost in clarity, way less shimmering going on. So yeah, what engine is this game using? The game was created on the same engine as the previous games, so apparently Frictional games iterated on the same engine since the Penumbra series. So this is basically the same engine as before with improvements on top of them. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I heard, that's what I read on the internet. So yeah, same engine as before, which makes sense. It's using OpenGL. And it doesn't have the TAA thing. What I do like is that it has a dynamic resolution option that we're going to try later. Hopefully it's a good one. A good implementation, but who knows. Matches, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get as many resources as possible because, you know, when you're in the dark, you want to have matches. I'm not reading anything because, you know, performance.
Why couldn't you wait?
More matches, thank you very much. Let's see very quickly the dynamic resolution thing and how and what it does. I think it's on graphics. Nope. Here, dynamic resolution lowers the resolution automatically if the frame rate drops. Let's try this. Okay, so with dynamic resolution at 1440p, I cannot really tell you guys, is super blurry now. It seems to be below 1080p. So maybe do not use dynamic resolution unless you're doing, I don't know, maybe 750 Ti and want more frames if you're dropping below 30. But yes, super blurry on dynamic resolution. Super blurry. Seems to be a little too aggressive, I would say. So I recommend you avoid that option if you can. But yeah. Anyways. What do you think about locking the monitor to 50 Hz if I get a frame rate between 50 and 60? I always do this when my frame rate is not 60 stable. I mean, as long as you keep a consistent frame rate, should be okay. I used to lock my frame rates to 45 when I couldn't reach 60s. Oh, hello. Dead woman. Okay, use a match to light the lamps. First equip it with R, then interact with the lamp. Okay, gotcha. The fire looks good. Oh, it runs out super quickly. Okay, makes sense. Let's see if I can find more matches and then we'll keep going. Yeah, I mean, I think we're done here. Let's keep going. 4K next? Yes, of course. I'm going to try 4K after this. For sure. Why do I need... Okay. What the heck? Moving around too much while holding a match will make it go out. Okay. Interesting. Interesting mechanic. I'm not going to light that up. ¿La 570 ya lo probaste? No, todavía no. Va después de esta. Nothing here. I'll probably lock the game to 30 if you're doing 1440p on this card. Oh man. Here we go again. Okay, some fire at least. Thank you very much. I'm not into horror games, so this is a little challenging. Oh, please. Do not scare me now. I'm live, so I don't want to be scared live on YouTube. Staying in the dark without a light source will increase your fear. Oh, come on. But I love being in the dark. More matches. Thank you.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, I cannot see anything at all.
He was hurt.
Oh, hello.
He can't have gone far.
Santiago, the fire looks good. Well, looking scary. Yeah, the fire looks good. Fire looks good. Yeah, the fire looks amazing when... Here we go again. Hi. Holy Mother, hear my plea. Okay. I'll hear it. More matches. Thank God. Thank God. I have matches. Take a deep breath. And move around. Please. Nothing jumps. Please. Alright. Is anybody here? Hi. Gotta love the noise. But yeah, I mean, jokes aside, this is running much better than the first part. This abandoned part. Instead of the 30s, we're into the 50s and 60s. Ah, that was my own shadows. Jesus Christ. How many matches do I have? I have 5. Why I can only carry 10 matches? That's absolute BS. 10 matches is my maximum. Where those are women pockets, so it makes sense. But yeah. Namaste. How do you change your GPU so quick? Well, I'm very used to it, and I have a separate computer. A separate computer to do the benchmarks. So one is doing the live stream, the other one has the GPUs. So I just grab the GPU and turn the other one. It's very simple actually. You get used to it. I've been doing this for like 5 years. So you get used to swapping GPUs. I'm not sure what I have to do. I'm pressing all the buttons. Oh yeah. Come on. Why does this take so long? It's trying to scare me. Todo bien por suerte.
There's something.
Alright. Come on.
What's
Let's
wrong?
see. Oh, the fire looks so nice. Oh, there you go. Let's go that way. Nothing scary about this. Oh no, I hate when you have to shimmy around. I'm looking. Oh man, there's something over there. Oh, fine. I don't have to get away. He can't share how much revenue he gains, I think. I think not exactly. But if I can, I'm asking my MCN about that. But if I can, I might do a video talking about it. I mean, that doesn't matter, really. It doesn't make the content better, at least not right now. But let's just say I cannot make a living with what I earn right now. This is more of a hobby that pays itself at the moment. Okay, so it seems that the more demanding part is usually when it's a closed environment with some daylight coming through, like this.
Did I get here?
But yeah, I mean, it seems to be running okay. Considering the visuals is not that great. The performance, I mean. So let's try 4K now. But I mean, it's serviceable. You can do 1440p on a 1050 Ti, so in my opinion, that's fair enough. Let's do 4K now, because why not? 4K. 4K on a 1050 Ti. What am I doing with my life? 23 FPS. Let's disable VSync. Yeah, still 23. Let's lower the SSAO, which was the biggest difference. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we jump to 26. If I lower the shadows to medium, we jump into what? Into nothing. 26 still. Refractions. Let's lower basically everything. Right now, I mean, doesn't really matter that much. No reflections. Let's do static reflections and no lantern shadows. Yeah, still 29 FPS. Yeah, do not do 4K on the 1050 Ti. Do yourself a favor. Do either 1440p at 30 frames ultra settings or 1080p ultra settings between 40 and 60. That would be my advice for this card. So let's go on dynamic, very high. SSAO, bloom, Am I missing something? No. But as you can see, even on 1080p, you can do ultra just fine. It can drop into the 50s at times. But yeah, it seems to be okay. Do you contact Frictional Games, or did they contact you? I contacted them. In general, developers do not reach out to me. I have to go and reach out myself, which is fine. I mean, they do not know if I would be interested in playing their game. So that's okay. Yeah, usually the developers do not reach out to me. I have to reach out to them. And they tell me if they want to provide a copy or not. So yeah, after a couple minutes I'm going to swap to the 750 Ti to do a quick test. That looks nice. And then we do the 570. Oh, the usual stuff, the the rifts in interspace. Interesting. Yeah, despite the effects on the screen, we're still not dropping that many frames. So it seems fine. Let's get this done. Yeah, the AA is only FXAA. Yeah, that's a very unfortunate because the game looks super jaggy. Super jaggy. Especially if you go for your native resolution. Well, below your native resolution. But if you are on your native resolution, it still doesn't seem to be enough. Estoy usando el monitor, no me acuerdo el nombre, pero después preguntame y te respondo en un comentario. But as I was saying, the FXAA, the game looks kind of jaggy, especially if you go below your native resolution. I think there's a super sampling option. Let me check that super quick, if we can go further with the resolution. Okay, we have a resolution scale, so if you do not like how the game looks with the jaggies, you can increase this, which will increase the resolution. And you have less jaggies. But yeah, I'll rather see some sort of TAA mixed with a high resolution, but we do not have that. We only have FXAA. I guess it's a limitation with the engine. It's the same engine as before, so maybe they could not implement it, who knows. And this is OpenGL, which is kind of interesting. I was expecting the X11 or Vulkan. But yeah, hopefully for the next game they improve the engine significantly. Maybe they don't need to. Who knows? Hey man, how are you doing? I'm fine, what about you? Good seeing you. New game that is a prequel to the first one. I don't know really about that one. I think it's 100 years after. Why you so handsome? Oh, stop it you. I am sure you will grow a lot in YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, so this is the demanding part.
Hello? Anyone?
Super interesting. Let's see what happens if I go to 1440. Let's break it. Okay, so at 1440p in this part, it drops into the 20s. So maybe at 1440p use SSAO. Okay. Let's see if this holds up. Yeah, with that many light sources. Okay, but finally we got to a demanding part. The shadows should make a difference here, but they do not. Yeah, they do not make a difference. Oh man, lantern shadows maybe. Nope. Alright, that's disappointing, to say the least. Considering it's not that great looking. Okay. Maybe if you do 1440p, use the dynamic resolution thing I told you not to use. But yeah. Anyways. Now I know where to test the game. So let's go back to 1080p. But yeah, weird. This is like half the frame rate in comparison to what I've been playing at the moment. Huh. This reminds me of Zoma. How interesting. Anyways. Hey, how's it going? Alright, nothing here. Todo bien, Matt 1X, ¿cómo va? You gotta love these great statues. Yeah, as you can see in this part, we get a huge performance hit. How weird. As if I can go somewhere else. I'm kinda lost down here. Yeah, I'm not sure what they have to do with this. Maybe nothing at all. Who knows? Maybe it's just visual storytelling that I do not understand. Oh, okay. This is what I needed to do. Great. I figured it out. I'm such a genius. El stream comenzó hace 36 minutos. Yeah, but I mean... See guys, this part is like double the frame rate. So maybe... Yes, a little too inconsistent. Yeah, when I see God rays or more open environments, we get like 50% the frame rate. Oh, a match. Yes, please. Green light. I mean, yeah, the game is using still the same engine as before, but with improvements on top of it. And it's on OpenGL. Oh man, the AMD cards are probably going to hate this game. OpenGL, I didn't have good experiences with OpenGL and AMD GPUs. But yeah. Anyways, let's swap to the 750 Ti now. To do a quick test. On that one I'm going to probably do 900p and 720p. But yeah, we're going to quit the game and swap graphics cards. 1 second guys. So we swap to this and we put a better effect in the background. There we go, some blur. So at least it looks more professional. So 1 second guys, I'm trying to turn off the PC. It's shutting down. Yeah, maybe if the environment is big, we're going to see a performance hit. So, but yeah, I mean, the part with many fires going on, with dynamic shadows, seem to be the problem. But we're going to test it further, so no worries. Here's a 1050 Ti. Let's swap to the 750 Ti to do a quick test. The super legendary GPU from 2014. So we'll plug in the HDMI cable. And it's back on. It's not that hard. It depends. It depends. It's a little... It requires patience. I can say that. That's for sure. RX 570, yes. After this one, the 570. Después de esta vale a 570. Quería dejar de lado esta porque es la más lenta que tengo. This is the slowest card I have at the moment. So let's get it out of the way first. Should be 900p, 720p, over 30 frames. But we'll find out. Loading the drivers now. It should be super quick to swap drivers because it's the same company. So let's see if it recognizes the card. That's usually the issue. Okay, it recognized the card. Wonderful. Let's put it on 1080p and launch the game. Let me show you MSI Afterburner first. 1, 2, 3. Alright, back into the Back into the game. As you can see here on MSI Afterburner, I'm using the 750 Ti. How's the optimization? It leaves a little too much to be desired, really. It's not the best looking game around, not by a long shot. It has some good looking parts, but it's a mixed bag, graphics wise. The effects, the lighting looks pretty good. But then the characters are a little rough, the animation. I mean, the supernatural parts are pretty nice. The rest is kinda mixed. Oh, this is the 750 Ti. So let's remove this. Let's try first 1080p on... Yeah, let's keep it on these settings. I'll start tweaking when I get into the game itself. Okay, I have multiple saves. I love that. Let's go... Yeah, let's go to this one. The Dark World. That was like 10 minutes ago. And get to the demanding part, which was looking into that part of the cave. Just to see as a worst case scenario type of deal. But what it's interesting, at least in my opinion, is that it's an OpenGL game. The same engine as before, but I was expecting something different. Come on. Okay. So I'm getting some stutter. I forgot to lower textures. Stupid me. Control how detailed the textures are in game. Let's put it on medium. And let's see if that changes the VRAM usage at all. Okay, 1500 now. Let's see. Let's see if we can stay below 2 gigabytes. All right. This is a demanding part. So nice to have autosaves, and it's saved here. So this is the taxing part. We're at 24 FPS on 1080p, but this is a 750 Ti on the highest settings. So let's do some tweaking. We're going to keep textures on medium. FXAA, I mean, it already looks kind of jagged. SSAO seems to be the biggest difference. And we're going to lower terrain to medium, shadows to medium to get a couple extra frames. And the reflections, let's keep only the static ones. Refraction really doesn't seem to make a huge difference. Skin shading either. So let's keep it like this. Let's see if it does anything at all. Yeah, still, we're still at 25 FPS. So let's go to the minimum. Let's see if at least we can get 30 frames with this configuration. Low, low, low. Alright, we're on low. I'm going to even disable FXAA because why would I? Why would I keep it? So let's try it on low. So we jump from 25 to 26, 27. So yeah, as you can see, there's no huge difference you can get in performance by lowering settings in these demanding parts. So let's give a try to 900p now. You can also, I forgot to mention, you can use dynamic resolution if you don't want to tweak any settings. You can do it like this, but it looks like a potato. I mean, it looks super blurry. You're probably not going to notice this in the stream, but I can see the pixels. It's a blocky mess. So I wouldn't recommend dynamic resolution because it targets... Oh, wait a second. Let's lock it to 30 and use dynamic resolution. Maybe there makes more sense. Okay, this makes more sense. Alright, so let's try cranking up the settings because it doesn't make a huge difference. We're only keeping everything maxed out except in the SSAO. We're going to keep that disabled. And that should do it. Yeah, in this case I would recommend dynamic resolution because you can target 30 frames. So yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see if it looks okay. Better than nothing. So this is 1080p, dynamic res, 30 FPS. On ultra settings, no SSAO. So in this case you get decent visuals. You got the settings almost maxed out. There's no ambient occlusion, but you're at least at 30 frames per second. Whoa. Let's put this here. Super long name. I mean, this would be my best settings for this card if you want to get the best resolution possible at 30 frames per second. Sí, la opción potato es lo que falta. Yeah, in a game called Second Extinction that I tried out, there was an option in the menu called potato, which was great for the textures, and it was needed for the 750 Ti. But yeah, I think this would be the best configuration if you want the highest pixel count possible. This looks to be below 1080p. It seems more to be between 1080p and 900p, so not that far off. But once you get out of the demanding area, you're at 30 all around. I mean, look at this, we're at 30 with 70% GPU usage. So yeah, as I said, a mixed bag on visuals and performance, especially in performance in that part that I showed you just now. It was super taxing on the GPU, but now is less demanding because we're not in an open location, super open location, better said. So yeah, maybe this is the settings that you should be using on this card. I would say, yeah. Looks super nice now. Considering which card I'm using, it looks pretty good. And if you do not want to use the dynamic resolution, we're going to do 900p. So 900p, no dynamic res, and up to 60. So, and we're going to crank up SSAO. So this is 900p Ultra. That's how we got it. So 900p, no dynamic resolution, unlock frame rate to 60 frames, and basically the highest settings without film grain, which doesn't look particularly good. When we'll test it with the 570, after this one, after this card, directly into the 570, I promise. No worries. Let's move this around. Hey Nasir, one message is enough, man. Alright. But yeah, I mean, on this one I would do 900p Ultra at 30 frames. Or 1080p dynamic resolution, aiming for 30, ultra settings, no SSAO, and that should be enough to have a decent experience. I mean, remember, this game you're not fighting, you're not doing any fine aiming like in a first-person shooter. So yeah, in this one 60 frames I don't think is absolutely necessary. Let's light a match. Yeah, a match here doesn't seem to do anything at all. But yeah, this is one of the parts that looks pretty good. But then you got the more flat places like the desert that doesn't look particularly great. So on the graphics it's super mixed. Please do not wake up. Wow, a pencil.
Professor Herbert. I wish I could have asked you what the hell is going on.
And the textures on medium are not that great either. Weak points, but no amulet. Why not? All right. Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere is pretty nice in this part. I'm not scared at all. Not scared at all. So, is the game visually good? It's a pretty mixed bag so far. Let's do 720p now. Just to swap to the 570. So 720p, ultra settings, status, 720p. Nice. Put that back here. So right now, as you can see, guys, 720p. And the highest settings without textures max out, because we only have 2 gigs of VRAM. And this is a budget GPU from 2014, so kinda makes sense. And as you can see, we're in the bad parts, we're into the 40s. Let's see if I can go anywhere from this part. Maybe I'm missing something. Nope, doesn't seem to be. Let's get out. So yeah, do not expect 60 frames on this one unless you use dynamic resolution. I mean 60 frames, and it will look like a blurry mess. It will be probably 540p. On this game, I would rather prioritize visuals over performance, because you're not really even fighting. You're just hiding and trying to be afraid for a little bit. But yeah, I'm kinda lost, which I think is the expectation. Not here. Probably this way. Oh yeah, this is the way. The music is getting more and more intense. So this is probably the way. Nope. I'm not lost, I know what I'm doing. Oh, okay, let's fall to our deaths. And let's go back. Don't think so. 750 Ti is outdated by the DirectX. Death Stranding can't be run on 750 Ti because of shaders. Well, but they decided to use the DX12. I mean, the DirectX 12 for memory management. That does not happen on some of the older GPUs. So that doesn't mean that Cyberpunk will have the same thing. So yeah, I have a question. Does the game has only OpenGL support? Yes, so far I only saw OpenGL. If I see something different, I'm going to tell you. But yeah, it seems to be only OpenGL so far. Let's read this. I'm defeated, blah blah blah, yeah, whatever. There's no water. If you reader traveler from wherever you will come. If you comprehend and if you know enough. What's the next page? Oh. To speak of the human world on Earth, let me know this. I was the first to solve the mysteries of the Gate Builders. I was the first human to bridge the boundaries between worlds. Hi, Professor, blah blah blah. What's the first? Yeah. We don't care that you're first. Oh, more reading. Weak points, but no amulet. Weak points, but no amulet. Maybe this way. The X marks the place. Bitai. What do you mean by Bitai? No portal. Alternative rift. Well, yeah, buddy. If I have the amulet. Let's use a match. Anyways. Let's now swap to the 570, like I said I would do. Again, the 750 Ti will do 60s if you use dynamic resolution, but again, probably 540p or lower. And you probably want those visuals because it's already a mixed bag. Visuals in this case would be the atmosphere, the tension would be more important than frame rate. So as long as you are at 30 or higher, should be okay. So let's shut down and swap to the 570. Let me swap the scenes and put a background blur. But yeah, great. We can play it on the 750 Ti at a 6-year-old $150 budget card. But yeah, let's swap out. So here's the 750 Ti we just tested. We put it onto the other PC. And it's time now for the good one, the 570. Hopefully OpenGL doesn't kill it in a way in the performance side. So we plug in the 8-pin connector and we put the card in. Hopefully I can find the HDMI connection. There you go. Without even looking. I'm such a pro. We're not sure if the 750 can run Cyberpunk. We're going to find out. I mean, I expect 720p 30 frames on low settings, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? ¿Qué es el OpenGL? Es otro API, es como DirectX, Vulkan, pero es otro. Es bastante, ya tiene unos años, pero en AMD no rinde muy bien. I was saying in Spanish, guys, that I'm a little afraid for the 570 because OpenGL hasn't been that great on AMD. So probably this is a game that will run much better on NVIDIA. But we're about to find out. So 1 second. I'm launching MSI Afterburner to show you that I have a 570 in the PC. 2, 3, there we go. So we swap back here and we remove the background. Boom. So let me zoom in. Here's the 570. So Radeon RX 570, and this driver hopefully is the latest one. If it's not, I'm sorry. So let's launch the game now. There's nothing wrong with the stream so far. I have 0 drop frames. No problem, Foxy T. Man, that's difficult to pronounce. Watch Dogs Legion on 750 Ti. Once it releases, I'm going to test it. I even contacted Ubisoft. They said that I might get a review copy for Watch Dogs Legion. If I do, great. If I don't, I just do Uplay Plus and get to play it. But yeah, Ubisoft has been pretty great lately, at least with me. Pretty great, I mean, in the PR department. They want to speak to me sometimes, which is good. I like that. It feels like they care about their products at times. So 1080p, 60 frames. Remember, we are not using dynamic resolution first. We're going to use ultra settings, 1080p. Unfortunately, again, the game is locked to 60 frames, so there's not much that we can do about it. So yeah, we're on the maximum settings. Let's jump into the demanding part, the dark world. Re famoso, no, la no, yo les escribí a ellos no me escribieron. Los de Ubisoft no me escribieron. Yo les escribí a ellos, pero me respondieron, así que yo contento. You would think they would, considering you have so many subscribers. Well, I mean, in comparison to other YouTubers, I was not expecting to get a response from Ubisoft. But I mean, you have to fill a form, and they will check out your channel. And I've been getting some games from them, so that's fantastic. Now getting games for free is super weird because I always had to buy them. Now I can get them from the developers themselves, from the publishers. So yeah, anyways, so I was going a little bit a little bit, I don't know how to say it in English, but talking about something that doesn't make sense to what is going on. So on 1080p maximum settings in this part, we're at 51, so it's already faster than the 1050 Ti. So sorry AMD, I was saying that it was going to run terrible due to OpenGL. Well, apparently they improved the OpenGL support. Since, I mean, in this part on the 1050 Ti we were into the 30s or 40s. Here we're into the 50s, so fantastic. So very quickly let's try 1440p because this is the demanding section. So at 1440p ultra settings on the 570 we're getting over 30 frames. This on the 1050 Ti was 24 FPS, so it's a 10 FPS boost. So great news if you have an RX 570, you can do 1440p at over 30 frames per second on maximum settings without any dynamic resolution, which would be my recommendation if you have a 1080p display, because we only got FXAA in this title, and FXAA makes the game look super jaggy. So if you're used to playing games that are looked very soft, this is not one of them. It has to look super sharp. So yeah, is the game in general optimized well? I mean, considering the visuals, it's fine, but it's a little too demanding, I would say. Let's do 4K now. So this is 4K Ultra, which was to be expected. It's at 17 FPS. And the card is starting to make noise. So let's lower SSAO. Let's see what happens. We jump from 17 to 18. Yeah, everything on the lowest. Just to give it a try. Now that we are here, everything on the lowest. So at the lowest settings, 4K, well, as you can see we get 20 FPS. So do not do 4K on this card, but it looks super sharp. Holy hell. You looks like a nerd. Well, yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Prueban 1900p. Bueno, no, pero ¿por qué haría eso? Si ya corres bastante bien en 1080. Anyways, so due to you guys asking me, I'll do 900p super fast on the highest settings. So we enable everything except in film grain. Okay, if you do 900p ultra settings, you get basically over 60 all the time. So no surprises here. So anyways, I'll go back to 1080p now and actually play a little bit of the game. So as you can see on 1080p we drop into the 50s, but if you care about the performance and want 60s for some reason, you get 900p. So let's keep going. Love those statues. Yeah, as you can see, can drop into the 40s on 1080p, but I mean, we are very far away from the 20s, so whatever, really. Is there a big difference between the RX 570 and the RX 580 overclocked on FPS? Well, I mean, if you can overclock your 580 to 1450 MHz, as an example, that's what I could push mine to, you're probably going to get a 10 FPS boost, 10 to 15 FPS more in the best case scenario. So yeah, if you got a 580, expect like 15 FPS more in the best cases. On this one you're probably going to get a 10 FPS boost, but we're going to try it out after this card. The 580 I mean. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are great settings, I would say. It's super smooth, even if you are not hitting 60 all the time. It's over 40. And the game looks very decent, at least. I mean, it's a mixed bag, but it does look decent considering the numbers we're getting at the moment. But I wish they used a new engine. I mean, it's easy to say it is easier said than done. But hopefully for the next game they do swap engines. It's going to massively improve the visuals, I'm sure about that. But nothing beats having a workflow, so probably they are super comfortable with this engine. That's why they keep using it. And I'm using 1080p now instead of 1440p because I know most people have a 1080p display nowadays. So yeah, move out, come on. So yeah, that's why I'm not showing you 1440p now, and I only show it as an interesting fact that you can play the game at higher resolutions. So yeah, no, soy cafetero. Lamento decepcionarte, Luis. Soy cafetero, pero el mate lo estoy empezando a tomar recién ahora. Alright. Yeah, I mean, also the performance. In this part, as you can see, 60 frames, 75% GPU usage, but then in some other parts, it just goes straight to 40 and the GPU gets maxed out. I guess that's why we got a dynamic resolution option. But yeah, it's kind of weird. A little weird on the demanding part. Ah, Sergio Sánchez, muchas gracias por los 4000 COP, que calculo que son pesos colombianos. Muchísimas gracias por la donación. Me pregunta si ya jugué Disco Elysium. No, la verdad que no, pero me lo recomendaron. Creo que está para Nintendo Switch. No sé si está para Switch, pero me dijeron que está muy bueno. Así que te agradezco la recomendación. Lo voy a probar. Pero sí, muchas gracias por la donación. Se agradece muchísimo. soy uruguayo. So, guys, I just said thanks for the donation to Sergio Sanchez. And as I was saying, the performance is kind of mixed. Because you get from 60 to this part, for example, you get into the mid-50s with higher GPU usage. But again, we're way past 30 frames, so it doesn't really matter that much. Some matches, thank you. Weak points but no amulets. Yeah, I know. I already read that. I'm pretending I know what I'm doing. No portal, but a rift. Alright. I also do not know what to do in this part, but I guess that's okay. You do not always know what to do in a game. I love these things like calculations. Things that you never understand. Okay, 3 points. Maybe there's 3 towers. Let's see outside. 1. Okay, let's go to that tower then. I don't get why it drops while not using 100% of the card. That's probably the OpenGL thing I was talking about. That's one thing that sometimes can happen in games, where you do not get capped frame rate, but at the same time it doesn't fully utilize the GPU. I guess that's due to the API or something with the game itself, but it wasn't happening on the NVIDIA card. And the game seems to be using only 1 core, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, on OpenGL doesn't seem to max it out. Probably the 580 is going to run into the same thing. We're back into the into the desert. Oh no! Don't tell me there's a monster. Please, no monsters. Oh, I can see below the ground. I always hide mode makes you less visible but unable to move. Yeah, but I love when I always break games, as you can see under the ground. That's hilarious. Bueno, gracias Mike. Gracias. Yeah, I do like that I can break games. Pretty funny. I should be a tester. Ah, me preguntan sobre el OC de la 570. Vamos a hablar de eso después, pero gracias. I'm going to talk about the 570 overclock later. But I think this one should be able to go over 1300, maybe 1350. Yeah, let's try that to... Whoa. Oh, that scared me. I thought it was a monster. It's just
What happened to them?
a frozen person. Please do not move, statues.
Dead.
Oh, I think I have the radio on overlay. 1 second. Alt-R. Bad moment to press that. Yeah, I do not have the overlay. Alt-R or Alt-E. Oh, I do not have any hotkeys. Okay, if the PC crashes due to the to the overclock, it's okay. But we're going to give it a shot, just to see where I can get it. This game does not like to be all tapped out. But yeah, let's do the overclock. Instead of 1280, let's try 1350 and 2000 on the memory. That's my expectation, and we crank up the power limit. Oh, the temperature while playing the game was 55, but it's not maxing out the GPU usage, so it kinda makes sense. And we increase the power limit to 30. Wish me luck that the game doesn't crash. Alright, so we cranked up to 1350 on the memory, on the core. And in the memory we cranked up to 2000. Let's see if the game crashes. Okay, right now let's put 570 overclocked. We go to 1350, but it's not maxed out on the GPU side, so this is not accurate on the numbers. But yeah, 1350. I might try 1400 at the end.
Christ.
But yeah, I mean, you can get a boost in performance doing this. Yeah, there's a limit in the frame rate to 60, unfortunately. But yeah. The limit of the FPS... You want Sekiro? Well, Sekiro has a problem with the AMD cards, that it uses way more CPU than the Nvidia cards. So that's a huge limitation on Sekiro. It seems to be due to the amount of draw calls on the X11. Oh yeah, that's one of the games that AMD struggles with.
Fuck.
Oh. There's a monster now. Please no. Oh, I'm getting scared, so I have to use a match. Because I love fire. A well-optimized game in 2020, it's a mixed bag, I would say.
Holy mother of God. What could do this?
Oh, the plane. The turbine. Alright. Feels just like my drug trips. Nah, never mind. I do not take drugs. Do not take drugs, kids. What the? Okay. We're in a completely different place now. Thanks for the memories. I'm using a Ryzen 3 3100. You can see that in the description if you want to purchase it. But yeah, let's get out. Please don't scare me, game. Please. I'm such a coward. Seems to be locked. Alice Wonderland. Ah, how convenient. Alright.
Food is ready.
It's not finished.
Please, do not scare me, game.
Get out of here.
MCF Starburner, sí, sí. Exacto, muchas gracias por responderle. Anyways. So let's swap now to the 580, now that we're here. Oh, thanks, Suvair Shoro. Hi from Uruguay. I cannot read all messages, guys. I have to pay attention to the game as well.
I was 16, I think.
So yeah, sorry in advance if I cannot respond. I'm trying my best. You know how it goes. But yeah. Is it safe to overclock my XFX RX 570? I mean, yeah, as long as the temps are in check, should be fine. Give it a try. Let's see if I can boost it to 1400. Again, if it crashes, so 1400. Alright, 1400 seems to be okay. We'll find out once we boost the resolution, but yeah. Oh, I can move this thing. That's not scary at all.
It's not cold.
Oh, the door is open now. Take a deep breath.
Selim?
Oh, hello there. Hi.
No.
Oh, he's gone. My baby. Are you getting one of the new Amperes? Something next year? 3070 to 3080. At the moment, no plans to get those cards. Those are super expensive. But if there's a 3060 or a 3050, I'll take a look at it. Sure. If I can afford them. But yeah. Whoa. This is trippy. Oh, hello, giant fetus. Run, Santiago, it's a trap. Yeah, it's a trap. I want to flee from parenthood. Okay, loading screen. Where's 1650 Super? Is going after the 580. Don't worry. It's coming soon. To your nearest benchmark. Okay. Do I wake up after this? Or I have to stare at this picture? Okay. No, el core clock yo se lo subí. Le estoy haciendo overclock a las 570.
Alice. Selim?
I did some overclocking on the 570, that's why it's at 1400. And it seems to be okay.
It felt so real.
I should have probably tried
Something
the overclock when I was at 4K. But hey. Anyways, let's swap to the 580 now. So we turn this off. The game is capped. Yeah, unfortunately it's capped to 60 frames. You can lock it to different things. I show you right now. You can lock it to 15 FPS, 20, 30, 60, and that's it. You do not have more options than that. Which is kind of unfortunate, but hey, this is not a game that you play at 144 FPS. At least, not personally. But yeah, anyways, we turn off the PC. ¿Qué es eso de CPU 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Son los núcleos, los hilos del CPU. Busca en internet. So, alright, let's swap to background blur. So you cannot see what's behind me. Because why would you? This is a live stream, for Christ's sakes. So we remove the 8-pin cable, the HDMI. And here's the 570. I just tested the Aorus version. Oh, it's hot. Jesus. We're going now to try the 580. Here it is, the triple fan version. But we're going to put dual fan version clocks, so you see how it runs in your dual fan card, if you have one. So 1 second guys, I'm plugging in the 8-pin connector. Oh, this is taking some effort. Alright, not going to use our cable there. Where's the HDMI? There we go. HDMI in. Oh, my cat is outside. Shut up, kitty. Spy music intensifies. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the bed. No, there's no bed behind me. It's a trap. What CPU? Ryzen 3 3100 is the CPU I'm using. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to see if this shows any image whatsoever. Okay, I'm back into the desktop. Wonderful. Let's launch MSI. And let's change the scene and remove the background. There it goes. So as you can see, here's the 580. As you can see, I'm saying that too much. The triple fan version is locked at 1411 MHz by default. We're going to put 1366 and the power limit to 30%. So 1366 should be what the dual fan cards have. So you get more of a real life reference to what most 580s are able to do. So yeah, let's launch the game. How do you live stream while swapping GPUs? I use 2 computers, one to do the live stream with a capture card, and the other one is only playing the game, so I can swap freely without ending the live stream. So due to having 2 computers, that helps a lot, because one computer is only doing the live stream, chilling about, and the other one is running the game and nothing else. That's how I do it. Sí, va a ser bien mejorar las temperaturas, pero no va a darnos más rendimiento en este caso porque los clocks son los mismos. In Pakistan, the temps of XFX 570 and 580 are 80 degrees while gaming. Well, if your ambient temperature is super high, I mean, it makes sense. Today, it's a little cold in here. I think it's 15 degrees, so 15 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. Alright, so 1080p. Oh, this is a 580. Before I forget. So this is an RX 580 and we're doing now 1080p highest settings. So let's give it a try. In the same spot as before. I think it was on the Dark World, yeah. Does playing in an aircon room makes your GPU temps significantly lower? Yes, of course. I mean, the colder the room, the better the temperature will be. In this case, this room is not with air conditioner running, but this is a triple fan card on an open test bench, on an open case, so the temps are going to be even better. So that's why I do not show temperatures. It doesn't make sense, because most people do not have that thing. Alright, so on 1080p, as you can see, it's already dropping below 60, but the GPU is not maxed out. This tells me that it is something to do with OpenGL probably, and the AMD cards, or maybe it happens the same on NVIDIA. This is the second card that can do 60s at 1080p Ultra, 60s, 50 to 60. So yeah, I mean, it's not even using that much CPU, it's at 10%, it's a 4-core thread part. So let's crank it up to 1440p now. So we're going to change the display to 1440. Since this is the most taxing part I found, it kind of makes sense that I try it out here. So 1440p ultra settings. Okay, over 30 just fine. So my recommendation, if you have a 1080p display, force 1440p. And you have no jaggies whatsoever, because we only have FXAA as an option. Then if you want to slightly boost the frame rate, lower SSAO. That will help you boost from 38 to 40. So 2 frames more, yay. And then at 4K, let's give it a try at 4K. So 4K on ultra settings, we're getting 20 FPS. So this is 4K Ultra. So let's try lowering the settings here. So we lower shadows, we lower everything. Even if it doesn't make a huge difference, it's nice to take a look at it. No SSAO, no bloom. So we jump from 20 FPS to 23. So as you can see, there's no huge difference by lowering settings from the highest to the lowest. It was what, a 10% improvement, maybe? Yeah, 10 to 12% improvement. So doesn't really make a lot of sense to lower settings in this game in particular. You're better off using dynamic resolution. So yeah, anyways. So let's keep this maxed out. And go to 1080p again, which is what most people has in the real life. So since most people have 1080p displays, we're going to try it on 1080p. As you can see, 1440p, you can do 30 frames just fine. But yeah, let's do 1080p Ultra. Undervolt es subirle la velocidad al ventilador, ok, no, undervolt es bajarle el voltaje a la placa y para que consuma menos corriente, lo cual va a hacer que corra más fría. Hay un video mío explicando eso, te lo recomiendo. Haz un pequeño undervolt. No, tranqui, es de 3 fans, no va a tener problema. Si el infierno arrancó. 1050 Ti is good, yeah, it is good enough. You can still play this game. Adiós Luis, nos vemos. Gracias por responderle a Matt1x. Yeah, the 1050 is still good, but you have to lower the texture quality. This way. Let's go down. Boom. Yeah, the 1050 is still good, you can still play games, do not expect higher settings, do not expect great textures, but you can still play, yeah? I mean, the 750 Ti can still play games, so the 1050 should be okay. Where do you come from? I'm from Uruguay, a country between Argentina and Brazil, in South America, of all places. Let's keep going. Hola Emanuel, ¿cómo andás? Agüero73, qué nombre más extraño. ¿Todo bien y vos? Beautiful. As I was saying before, maybe you weren't watching, the game is a mixed bag graphics wise and performance wise. As you can see in this part, I'm using half the GPU basically and getting 60s. And then in the other parts I was like 50 to 60, but with the GPU maxed out. So yeah, it varies from section to section. The most atmospheric parts, like this, seem to be fine, even with the particles on screen. But yeah. What is this game? This is a horror game. Just look at Amnesia The Dark Descent first, and then play this one. My advice. Amnesia The Dark Descent is way more scary than this so far. I haven't been paying much attention to the game. I'm just testing performance. But most of the reviewers said that Dark Descent is way scarier than this. And I have to agree. The first minute of Dark Descent were terrifying to me. I was 15 years old though, so I was a different person. But yeah, I do like the dynamic shadows. So yeah, 570 or 580. This is the 580, but if you can choose between them, I'll go 588 gigabytes if possible. You get like a 10 FPS boost in most games, in the best cases, and you get the extra memory, which you can also do on the 570, but price matters. So if the price is very different, go for the 570. If they're almost the same price, 580, and so on. Is it a horror game? Yes it is. Yes it is. At the moment it's just spooky. Nothing really happened yet, but we are like what, an hour into the game, or maybe 30 minutes in. I cannot see anything at all. Oh, advise do not run with the match lit. You're going to have a bad time. Yeah, this is not the place that it should be going. Played Red Dead Redemption 2. I already did on release day. Yeah, this is not the way to go. Let's jump. Stairs. Okay. Getting somewhere. I'm gonna love this. Okay. Please do not jump scare me. I'll be glad. But I mean, the 580 is doing okay. Okay, I went all the way back. So I've been going in circles. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, the 580 runs it just fine. 1080p or 1440p. If you want 40 to 60, do 1080p. If you want over 30 with better visuals, do 1440. But yeah, anyways, we're now swapping to the 1650 Super, since there's not a lot more to see and say. So we shut down the PC and swap to the fantastic bed in my background, as you can see. Great. So we're now swapping GPUs. We're going to do the 1650 Super now, this teeny tiny card with a 6-pin connector. Maybe you cannot see it. Anyways, so let's remove the 580 from the PC. So here's the 580 I removed. Chunky card. Jesus Christ. And let's put the 1650 Super. Alright. Let's connect the HDMI. Great. HDMI in. So let's try this again. The camera quality better than PewDiePie. Well, PewDiePie does not care at all. I mean, if I was PewDiePie, I would have only a 4 megapixel camera. I mean, it's understandable. Yeah, I mean, I'm replacing Legos. It's just like Legos for adults. That's what swapping GPUs feels like. Anyways. So, I'm waiting for the drivers to load up. 1 second, guys. ¿Tienes algún juego favorito? Me encantan los Splinter Cell. Los Splinter Cell son juegazos. Especialmente el Chaos Theory, me encanta. Y me gustan los Hitman también. Tengo muchos juegos preferidos. How much future-proof is the 1650 Super? Well, if you want future-proofing, to say it in some way, maybe it's not the best card for it. Mostly because you only have 4 gigabytes of video memory, which is what limits GPUs in general. Thanks Nvidia for only putting 4 gigabytes on the 1650 Super. As you can see here, it is 1650 Super. So let's jump straight into the game. Let's not waste any more time. Recién cambiaste la pasta térmica de tu PC y anda súper lagueada. Capaz que pusiste mal la pasta térmica y no hace contacto. Fíjate que haga buen contacto cuando atornillaste el cooler. Y fíjate la temperatura. Y ves. Do I need to change my Ryzen 5 2600 or for how many years? I mean, there's no perfect number. Right now the Ryzen 5 2600 should be just fine to play all games. 6 cores, 12 threads, a very new CPU. So I wouldn't worry too much. Just keep it. Once it doesn't meet your expectations, replace it. That's my advice. Just keep it. Don't stream horror game at night. I would have a horror dream. Well, that's why I stream on daytime. Here it's 12 p.m., 12:49 p.m. So I didn't do it at night because I get super spooked. So yeah, anyways, this is the 1650 Super now on the highest settings 1080p. So let's change the status to GTX 1650 Super. 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 Yeah, let's put it there. Nah, here it's fine. The text is too large. That's the issue. That's what she said. Are you happy, boyfriend? No, I do not. But thanks. So on the 1650 Super, let's see if it happens like the 580. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with the 580. On the AMD cards, when I was getting 60 frame, when I was in this part, I got like 55 to 58 FPS and the GPU wasn't maxed out. And I said it was probably a limitation with AMD and OpenGL. Well, here's the proof. I have an NVIDIA card using the same settings and I'm getting lock 60s. I do not drop into the 50s in this part. Mostly because NVIDIA has better OpenGL support. The drivers, OpenGL drivers are better on NVIDIA. AMD improved them significantly, but here you can see the difference. I mean, it's a couple frames, but there's a difference nonetheless. So let's try and crank up those resolutions. Let's try 1440p now, because this is the demanding part I found. So at 1440p, in the status we got 1440. At 1440p you can do 48 FPS in the bad part. So easily over 30 frames, do not worry. If it runs fine here, it should be fine across the entire thing. So yeah, 1440p, it's okay. And let's now do 4K now that we are here. And at 4K again, 25 FPS, still faster than the 580, so the 580 here was at 20 frames per second. So I can definitely tell you that this runs better on NVIDIA GPUs so far, which was to be expected. An OpenGL game usually is that way. And on 4K lowest settings, okay, 29 FPS, maybe you can do 4K on low settings or 1800p. But yeah, this is definitely faster than the 580 on this game in particular. So interesting to see that. Let's now go to 1080p, which is the normal thing that most people will use. So we are back to 1080. And on the graphics, we max it out. So everything maxed. Thank you. And the status now is 1080p Ultra. So 1080p Ultra settings. And we're playing a little bit more like this and finish the live stream. So yeah, same here with the GTX 970. On Horizon Zero Dawn, i3 6100 always max out, while 970 is around 60 to 70%. Well, it makes sense because Horizon Zero Dawn uses quite a bit of CPU. Even on 4 cores I have some problems on Horizon with the stutter. Now the game seems to be a little improved with patches, not a huge improvement. But it makes sense with the 6100, only 2 cores and 4 threads. I'll probably get one of those cheap Ryzen 5 processors, 1600 AF, 2600, that should be a good upgrade. But unfortunately, if you have a 6100 or an i3 6100, you're probably going to be needing, well, probably you're going to need a motherboard change, maybe a system RAM change. So I understand why most people do not upgrade right away. But yeah, it makes sense in those newer games that use more threads that the 6100 is holding you back. But yeah, luckily at least due to the AMD competition, we're getting more cores for cheaper. Are you playing Among Us? Well, Among Us, I played with some friends, Among Us, better said, and I had fun for the first 2 weeks. Now I'm totally fed up with it. It feels too much of the same basic premise. It's fun with friends, but that's about it. It was a fun experience when it started. Now I'm a little bored with it. I'm more of a Skyrim kind of guy now. I started playing Skyrim, I finished it a week ago. I mean, can you believe that? I never finished Skyrim, I had to play it now on the Nintendo Switch in order to finish it. So that was super interesting. How will 1650 Super perform in Cyberpunk? I don't know yet, but once Cyberpunk releases, I'll be here doing a live stream just like this one on all my cards. It's probably going to be a 4-hour live stream, completely balls to the wall, testing GPUs and seeing how that game performs. ¿Te borró el Minecraft? Pa, hace mucho que no juego Minecraft. Creo que hace como una década que no juego Minecraft. O 9, 8 años. Among Us can make divisions between us. Yeah, true. True. You fight with your friends after playing Among Us. It's like playing Overcooked with your significant other. You're never going to be the same again. ¿Qué preferís, AMD o Nvidia? Y lo que esté mejor precio lo consigo. En este caso prefiero AMD porque por el precio te dan cosas muy buenas. Pero con las 1650 Super que usan menos corriente y calienta menos. Si no fuera por los 4 GB de video la recomendaría así sin dudas. Pero esos 4 GB de video me tienen... ¡Ah! Puedo comprarme una 570 por mucho menos plata. Así de simple. What? That would be the most hyped live stream ever? Yeah, true. I mean, I still remember my Red Dead Redemption 2 live stream that I did it as soon as the game released, and I had 3,000 people watching, 3,500. Yeah, 3,000 people watching, which was insane. I couldn't even read the chat. So maybe Cyberpunk is another one of those, who knows? But a lot of people will be streaming it, so I don't have huge hopes. But if I'm Amnesia, I have 100 people. I think Cyberpunk would be interesting. Okay, I think I'm lost. Whoa. Jesus. Okay, I'm losing my mind as you can see. Sí, 2000 personas había en ese stream. Estuvo re loco ese stream de Red Dead. Play Watch Dogs 2 Ultra Settings. Once it releases, Watch Dogs 2... Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs Legion releases, I'm going to be streaming it. So no worries. Okay, I went to the wrong place. That's why I respawned here, I think. Holy shit. Jesus. Okay. We're fine. I just went into the wrong place. I'm not paying attention to the gameplay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the screen tearing. Let's enable VSync. Looks terrible without it. Alright, much better. So let's try to get to the correct place. It should be that tower over there. So we're going first downstairs. Forgot about other... Oh, thank you, Nathan. Thank you. Yeah, Watch Dogs is hard to pronounce. True. Okay. Let's see. Where to? Okay, there's lights. Let's follow the lights. Let's pretend that I know what I'm doing. That fog over there looks promising. Alright. This is the correct place. There's a note. The Traveler's Amulet, according to Weyer, should focus these energies and provoke the weak points to tear open, forming a rift between this world and another. But I have no amulet. Oh, what a shame. I do have one.
Oh, thank God. This looks promising.
This looks promising. Yeah, true. Please do not scare me. Moving while crouching is less noisy and reduces the chance of being noticed. Okay, so there was a monster I didn't notice, so let's run around and get away. Oh, okay. Oh, this is not a monster.
Christ.
Let's keep going. Please, no jump scares. I'm too young to die in a live stream. Okay, this leads me nowhere. Maybe this stairs. Can you try a 1066 gigs for Cyberpunk? Unfortunately, I no longer have a 1060. I replaced it with the 1650 Super because they run almost the same. But maybe I can borrow one for Cyberpunk. We'll see how it goes. As of right now, Cyberpunk is going to be tested with the GPUs I tested today. If that changes, I'm going to tell you guys. But right now I tried not to put that many GPUs on my arsenal, because as much as they are expensive, apart from being expensive, they are it's a lot of work to test that many GPUs and do separate videos, and it takes a lot of time, which I do not always have. So as of right now, I can only tell you use a 1650 Super as a reference to your 1060 numbers, and that'll be about it. Thanks, that would be great. Yes, it will. It would be great. Okay, I'm following the lights. There's another light over there. More lights. Okay, more frozen people. Is that a monster? No, it doesn't seem to be. Or is it? Okay, we seem to be... Okay, let's run to the next rift. Oh, I already went through this part. This is the baby part. So the 1650 Super runs it like nothing. Yeah, basically. Basically that. You got it right. Yeah, 60 frames. Sometimes it drops into the 50s when there's a lot going on in the special effects part in an open location.
By the window. I should get cold.
But yeah.
It's not cold. This is normal for Paris.
All right. I'll get cold.
Sí, Resident Evil Village debería ser el año que viene. Yeah, I'm praying not to be afraid. That's a little difficult because the atmosphere is so immersive that I cannot do anything else but be a little uneasy. A little uneasy. Let's open the cupboards. There's nothing here. Oh, the chair. I scared myself. Weird. I should be able to read this. What the heck? I think that there's an effect kind of bugged at the moment. No worries.
I was 16, I think. And I
Oh,
must have
some
driven him,
wooden toys.
but no cleft,
Beautiful toys.
no locked doors. Just this compass. He said it was so I would always find my way home.
Oh, finally the door is open. Let's see what's on the other side. Nothing scary, hopefully. Oh my god, a dad and a baby. No!
No.
Oh, he's gone. Hello, baby. Your face is pretty blurred.
Alice! Alice!
The Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta just destroyed your 1060. What do you mean? I mean, do you have a good enough CPU to run it? Because that game maxed out quad cores, the Black Ops Cold War beta. Maybe it has to do with it. La 1650 no super, no te la recomiendo. O sea, el rendimiento está bastante atrás comparado con esta. A big fetus, normal fetus. Is this Death Stranding? Alright. Yeah, they fell asleep artistically with their baby and a monkey. Hopefully I can get to the next location now. You have an i7 3770 non-K. Should be okay then. Single core performance should be good enough. What resolution and settings were you using? Well, it's a DX12 game. Maybe that's why the 1060 can sometimes struggle on it. Jugaste Death Stranding, sí, no me gustó para nada. No es un juego que pueda apreciar yo. Can the RX 5600 XT beat a regular RTX 2060? I don't know really. I think it varies from game to game.
Something's...
More matches. Thank you. 3 more matches, and I have 6.
They don't fit my body. What the hell, I'm heavy.
I mean, the 1650 is super. The 1650 non-super, unless you don't have a good enough power supply, I wouldn't really think about it. More matches, thank you. 2 more. So I'm probably going to use a lot of matches because the game is giving them to me without much hesitation. Okay, another rift. Let's get through it.
Maybe it wasn't a dream.
Maybe it wasn't a dream. Hopefully I never have to say that in real life.
A tear, a rift.
Okay, some lamps. Oh no. Please, no scary. Please. More matches. Jesus, I'm going to be in the dark for a while, huh? They gave me a lot of matches lately. Yeah, remember there are spoilers. I do not want to look. The noise. Please, no monsters. I'm such a coward, holy hell. My ancestors will be so disappointed. I have to look to the side. I try not to look. Let's try not to fall. There we go. Yeah, the matches. Let's run around. I don't want to waste a lot of matches. Okay, it's open. Ah, jump scare coming. Please, no jump scares. Oh man, I do not like this picture at all. It's not looking good for me. Ah, not looking good for me. I mean, already the atmosphere, the noise is already making me super uneasy. Jesus Christ. That's why I do not like horror games. I end up scaring myself than the game scaring me. Alright. I do not like the look of this. Sí, anda bien en la 570. What processor I'm using? I'm using a Ryzen 3 3100. No, please, not the kids' toys. La 570 lo corre bien, a 50 FPS a la peor parte de rendimiento en 1080p Ultra. Puedes retroceder el stream y se ve. Yeah, Ryzen 3 3100. Thanks, Emil, for letting them know. I'm sorry if I look like a coward. Well, I'm not into horror games due to this. I get nightmares. Okay, so spoilers. This is all spoilers. Apparently she is pregnant. So, great. More baby stuff to be afraid of. If I didn't have enough of that in my adulthood.
I remember telling him in Paris. The expedition. We nearly didn't come because I was
Depends on what GPU you use. Well, yeah, that's true. That's super important.
Christ.
Please, no monsters.
Where did you go?
Please. You're waiting for my RE Village stream. I don't know if I'll stream that one. I'm such a coward.
Oh, no, please.
At least on that one I can fight back. Oh, my husband.
Salim. No, please, my love. I'm here. I'm here now. Please stay.
Why did you abandon me, Salim?
My heart. You're my heart.
Please, no jump scares.
What do I do?
Y Matt, un poco de ambas, yo diría.
We're supposed to find you.
He did. Oh, now I have the lamp. So this is officially okay, so now the amnesia part is actually starting. I have a lantern now. Oh man. This is going to be a hell of a ride. Oh man, already a jump scare. Jesus Christ.
I can't stay here. I'm so
Let's get the heck out of here. Oh, and the lamp has fuel. Why? Why does it have to have fuel? Oh, I hate this. This is not a game that I should be playing. The live stream is about to end. Se murió Gilberto. I remember when Rubius played this years ago. Those times, yeah, true. Those were the times when the YouTube Let's Play community started growing. With the first Amnesia.
Why did you have to go?
Good old times. I was just an adolescent. See ya, Johnny. See ya later. Thanks for sticking around, man. Good seeing ya. No, don't be so effing selfish.
Don't be so fucking selfish. It's not just about you anymore.
Okay. Lamp.
Live for the child.
Okay, the lamp doesn't work.
Come on.
Please do not scare me.
There's got to be something you can do.
Oh, alright. Let's go to that rift. Oh no. Oh no. A door. La D50 Ti ya la probaste? Sí, va arriba de 30 FPS en Ultra 1080p. Gracias, Sebastián, se agradece. Sí, por ahora la 1650 Super va lo más bien en casi todos los juegos que he probado. Alright, we're now outside, which seems to be way less demanding than the other parts. Oh yeah, this is one of the parts that looks pretty good. It's such a mixed bag graphics-wise. Such a mixed bag. Some parts look absolutely great. So, as you can see, I'm pregnant in this video game.
I can't believe I forgot this.
So as I was saying, some parts look super great, and some other parts are like a potato looking. So it's definitely a mixed bag
Live for the child.
in the visual side of things.
Find the others. Get home. Both of us.
So yeah. I think that the biggest drawback from this game, for this game, is the OpenGL, and they are using the same engine as before. I think that's the biggest limitation, I would say. But the game still looks decent enough. But yeah, my gripes with it are the engine and the API. Okay, this will dampen my fall. Got it. But yeah, the animations are also kind of a limitation.
That building.
But I'd say that the engine is what gives us the biggest limitation of all of them. Sí, ¿cómo se va a olvidar, no? Bueno, se llama Amnesia el juego. Is the game on Unreal Engine 4? No, this is the engine from the developers themselves. Same engine as before, but with upgrades. As far as I know, that's how it goes. Let's get this away. I have to crank this out. Alright, I ripped it out. I laugh in Spanish. Ha 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 ha. That's how I laugh. Ha 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 ha. Nice picture. Old school cool. Okay, I have to move the mouse in circles. Really? Which side? Okay. The other side. It's so weird to move the mouse like that. And this door is locked. Alright. We are through. And let's open this door as well. I mean, why not? Oh, there were dynamic objects blocking the door. That's interesting. It wasn't just artificially locked. ¿Qué te está pareciendo del juego hasta ahora? Hasta ahora me da menos miedo que el anterior, pero el ambiente como que ya te hace asustarte vos solo. O sea, yo ya con el sonido y la parte visual me estoy asustando a mí mismo y no está pasando nada, literal. O sea, Pero el anterior me asustó mucho más a los primeros 10 minutos que este, por lejos. Somebody asked me in Spanish if the game... What am I thinking about the game already? Well, in comparison to the first game, The Dark Descent, I don't feel that it's as scary in the first hour or so. This is definitely way less scary at the start, but it's very spooky. I mean, I'm more scared about the ambience and the sounds and the music. I'm scaring myself more than the game is doing. I mean, the game is not doing anything actually. I'm just getting scared by the ambience. So I'm actually scaring myself. The game doesn't have to do much, and I'm scaring myself. So that's hilarious. The only developers I know of using OpenGL for games nowadays. Yeah, it's kind of respectable. It's the same tech that they were using before. But OpenGL on the AMD cards is not that great. I wasn't able to lock it to 60 on the RX cards due to that, I think. Which is what usually happens. But AMD improved the OpenGL support significantly in comparison to before. So yeah. I mean, if they didn't care to change APIs, I can respect them. As long as the game is good, it doesn't really matter that much. Bueno, gracias David por el comentario. Espero que lo estés disfrutando. Para eso estamos. Alright, still at 60 frames.
We were here. I remember being scared.
But yeah, how long? I've been streaming 2 hours already. I think that's it for today. I showed you the part that was kinda demanding of the game. And we saw a little bit about the story. And that this lady is a little pregnant. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream with me. But yeah, not much else to say. Thank you so much to Frictional Games for providing a copy of the game so I could check it out. I'm not into horror games, so I'm usually more scaring myself when playing these games more than the games being scary by themselves. Y eso, Emil, de la distancia de visión en los juegos Unreal 4 lo he visto, pero no le doy mucha bola porque no puedo hacer nada al respecto. ¿Hablas otro idioma? Hablo español e inglés nomás. Pero sí, muchas gracias por mirar y nos vemos. Chao. See ya guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.